Cool. How you going?
Yeah, good. What's happening?
Not much, mate. No, just excited and sad at the same time because footy's on, but the grand final's happening. But it's the last game of the year, and it's sad.
Are you sad, are you?
I am, because it means that you got to get into cricket. I don't know how much you love cricket.
You don't have to get into cricket.
Well, I mean, you turn it on; it's the only thing that's on at sport, really, isn't it?
Don't you have Netflix or YouTube?
Yeah. Well, YouTube. Yeah, you can do other things. I know, but it's just the feeling of loss, because it's just not going to be there for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, well, I think I'll be all right.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a good game though. The footy's been unreal over the last few weeks, hasn't it?
It's been close. It's unfolded pretty much the way the top 8 was. These guys have finished first and second respectively, but the day itself is exciting because it's a grand final day. I mean, there's all sorts of things happening. There's functions on boats and clubs and hotels and barbecues and backyards. People get together, and it's a general good feeling all over the place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good weekend to be an Aussie, definitely. And it's a lot of controversy, obviously, surrounding it too. So it makes for an exciting next few days.
Yeah. We don't know whether. I mean, these two teams are pretty well matched up, but I mean, you got competition with Will Chambers and Latrell Mitchell. They look. It looks like they genuinely hate each other, and they play similar types of games, and they're in your face. They sledge and all that sort of stuff. So that'll be interesting to watch in itself.
Yeah, 100%. I can't wait to see Latrell Mitchell in a grand final. It's going to be unreal to watch him unleash. Hopefully he has a good game, big game, as they all do.
Did you see the Roosters and Souths game after the aftermath? They were in the camera was in the dressing rooms, and they had the wide shot, and everyone was excited. They were sort of relaxing and taking their tape off their legs, and up the back was Latrell Mitchell and Dylan Harper, and they just had these big smiles on their faces.
Yeah.
You could tell they were ready.
Yeah, bloody oath. That's going to be awesome to see him unleash. I love watching Latrell play. He's just he's a complete package, isn't he? And for that, to be that young and to be that confident and aggressive, it's something, not only rugby league's needed, specifically the Blues have needed over the last few years. It's he's like a saving grace. Yeah, having that style, that athletic ability that he has, coupled with the aggression and his enthusiasm for the game. Yeah, sometimes you get big guys who aren't aggressive, and real talented guys who don't really push themselves, or they're not confident. There's always something, but he seems to have everything.
He does, yeah, and he's got a fair bit of smart ass about him, and that, to me, that's a little bit of Queensland in him that we have got. In New South Wales now, haven't we?
And you need, in today's competitive climate, and you got every day at training is competitive now. It used to be like you just get through training and play hard. Now it's like you got to train hard and compete with every drill and every skill that you practice. It's a competition against the next bloke. So he's become a master of it, and I just love watching his enthusiasm for the competition in everything he does, and his aggression. It's just bloody.
It's good.
It's awesome to watch, It
is good. And we've also got, obviously, Cooper Cronk, if he plays against his old team, and against the Cameron Smith. We know what happened throughout the year with the handshake.
Yeah, it's a bit of bad blood there, and I'm sure they'll both wanting and bragging rights after the game. So, I don't know. Do you reckon he'll play? He looked pretty bloody sore, didn't he, on the field? Yeah,
he didn't look good at all. He was getting belted a couple of times after he kicked the ball and stuff, and he even got a pat on the back from the mascot, and that looked like it hurt him too after the game.
I don't know. It's anyone's guess at this stage. But by the time this podcast has been listened to, no doubt the verdict will be reached. Yeah.
Mate, the sad thing about it for me is I think the game will be won or lost leading up to Sunday. I mean, I know physically they'll play the game on Sunday, but for me, if they lose Cooper, I mean, they probably won't announce it right up until the start of the game. But yeah, for me, he's such an important part of that. Any team that he's played for, and the Roosters now they'll be looking at replacing him if he doesn't play with a couple of young blokes that have, between them have only played about 10 first grade games. So
big shoes to fill. But Slatsy's off. He's playing.
Mate, I don't. For my mind, it couldn't have went any other way. It was a reaction that he needed to do to stop the try, and that is the precedent now to allow that sort of thing to happen at the try line. You can do that sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe have to adjust the rule or whatever. But anyway, yeah, like we were saying earlier when we were chatting today, like if you go and buy the book, I guess you've got a case saying that it should be a suspension, because if it was a fringe first grader playing in a mid-season game doing the same thing, he'd probably get a week. But it's Billy Slater. It's his last ever game. It happens to be a grand final. I'm actually happy that NRL's inconsistent, because a grand final with Melbourne Storm and no Billy Slater for his last game sounds fucking stupid, doesn't it?
I tell you who won't be happy, the Roosters.
Oh, 100%. I hope they're all full strength. I want Cronk to play. I'm glad Billy's playing. I'm glad that NRL's inconsistent, because, like I said, no Billy Slater for the last game. It would just feel wrong, wouldn't it?
Well, it would.
And I don't think the frigging rule's good anyway. If you hit him in the head, throw the frigging book at him, suspend him, fine him, do whatever you got to do. But why stop a frigging shoulder charge if it wasn't reckless. The guy was running to score a frigging try, and he frigging did everything he could to smash him out, and he did. In my opinion, that should be on every highlight reel for history. It's a great try saver.
He's deflected the ball carrier. Probably a better way of saying it. It wasn't a shoulder charge. I mean, it looks like a shoulder charge sideways.
It was a shoulder charge. He gives a shit though.
Yeah, but
Who cares?
I don't know. I don't think it was a shoulder charge in the true sense. But
he didn't fly in from an angle recklessly and just close his eyes and friggin' throw his body at someone's head like some used to when it was legal.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, if it was a few years ago before the rule, then it was a highlight reel. And now it's going to be again because he was allowed, so it has to be.
That's right. But the first point of contact, and it says that he argued the point, or his counsel argued the point that the first point of contact was the side of his chest.
Yeah, I see. I don't think it should be a fucking rule. If you fly in and they say, there's been some big problems in the past where people get knocked out. Yeah, okay, it's a contact sport. A swinging arm can do that. A head clash can do that. A knee in the face can do that. Yeah. A funny fall and you do terrible things to your spine. We've seen that happen. Okay, it's a tough, ruthless, relentless sport, and I don't think that should be, especially the way that happened.
Exactly.
That is a friggin' great try, save, and tackle. I want to see that on every friggin' highlight reel forever, regardless of the friggin' rule. That's just a great play. Anyway, everyone's going to whinge now. Either way, whatever decision was going to happen, there was going to be a shit ton of hate for it. So I reckon if you're feeling all that hate and you're listening to this, fuck it off. Just forget about it. He's playing. Just enjoy watching one of the greatest to ever lace on the boot play his last game that happens to be a grand final. Yep. And look past your hate for Billy Slater, because he's got a lot of haters out there. But he's also got a lot of love too.
Yeah, absolutely. Common sense. The purest of the game love him as a player. There's a lot of people that don't like him, but they're normally the people that are of the opposite team. I reckon common sense has prevailed, and watching his last game will be a privilege.
Yeah, well, you ask any player too, they want to play against the best. So, as much as it sucks for the Roosters, I'm sure they're thinking, shit, it would have been good without him. I'm sure that if they won, they'd be happy that he did play, so they could say they beat the best team possible. Yep. And the Storm will be the same with Cronk. It's a competitive thing in people who are competitive. And it's good for the game. You want to see the biggest stars playing. So I reckon it's good. Everyone's going to whinge and have a say and probably disagree and whatever. But bad luck he's playing now. So let's just watch it and friggin' stop kicking stones and enjoy it. Yep. He's going to have a ball terror, man. Like, you know what he's like in the big games. His anticipation. It's been my favourite thing about his whole game, my whole career. He was always my favourite player. I've never seen someone try so hard for the entirety of a game. I'd have a run and go and have a breather and a bludge. He would have a run and then get back and just look for his next opportunity to friggin' what can he do to exhaust himself for the team, And
in the meantime, in defence, he's talking to all his forwards and his defensive line to keep to go to the left, go to the right.
Never ever is he not on. He's always switched straight on and ready for anything. And his anticipation in regards to when like whether it be like in defence or pushing up for Cameron Smith, or when it was Cronk and they were partnered, and now it's Munster.
Yep.
Mate, there's no better. There's no one who tries harder than him. He's a friggin' animal. Technically, the rule, they got it wrong and they've been biased. I'm glad they were, because I wanted to see him play his last game in a grand final.
Yeah.
From a fan's perspective.
Watch this space. Yeah. What do people that are listening to this think of this? Let us know.
Yeah, if you hate our guts for what we said, let us know.
Give us a comment below, and Anyway, he's playing. Grand finals happening, so hopefully Cooper Cronk plays now, and it'll all be level pegging.
How good that be?
Awesome.
Strongest team versus strongest team, and may the best man win.
Absolutely. How good was that to see that? They must have put more seats into Allianz, because it could only hold 40 before. They've played grand finals there, and there's 41, 42,000, but they got 44,000, so it must have been more seats put in. But it looked absolutely fantastic, didn't it?
Yeah, it didn't. Doesn't that just? Wouldn't you just love to see that every week?
Yeah.
And I don't know how they can do it, but they got to make that happen. If that was happening every week, what a product that NRL would be.
And you would fill the suburban grounds doing that sort of stuff. Yeah.
It just looked awesome, and every camera angle you could just see heads in the background, and it just made the whole rugby league brand look friggin' powerful, didn't it?
Yeah, I spoke to someone that went to the game, and they said my first question was how was the feeling out there? What was the atmosphere like? And they said it was the most amazing atmosphere they've ever been to.
Yeah,
it was just because it's so enclosed in. And it's just... Yeah,
it's a great ground when it's full. I remember you took myself and our friends to the 1991 grand final when Penrith played Canberra. And it was a full house, and the atmosphere, it was just... I'll never, ever forget that. That's my favourite football memory before I played like grade. And Freddie Fittler was marking Mal Meninga, and he did a bloody great job on him too. And just the atmosphere, and the Penrith and Canberra jerseys, it just had that real grand final feel about it, that ground, and it's a shame that they're not playing there anymore.
Yeah, well, they're changing it, aren't they?
Changing it, yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. But, geez, I was a good daddy. Did that thing for you?
Yeah, that was one of the days, one of the very few days that you actually pulled through. Thanks for that.
No worries. Yeah. Oh, geez. Anyway, so, mate, I mean, the game is what everyone's talking about. They're so evenly matched. You look at some basic stuff. I mean, they finished first and second on the ladder. Sportsbet's got Roosters at $2, and they got Storm at $1.85. So there's nothing there.
Yep.
Points for and against. Points are 542 for the Roosters, 536 for the Storm. There's nothing in that. And points against 361 to 363. So they're all over the park. They're close. It's going to be, and that's when I'm saying is that the game will be lost before the game's played. Is whether Cooper Cronk will make that difference for me.
Yeah, definitely. And mate, I'll tell you, if they both can't play, doesn't that suck? You even when you're on the other team, it's a good advantage to not have the best players playing, and you think how good's this, but you kind of want them to play in a way too, simply because you don't want to be saying you won a grand final and they weren't at full strength.
Yeah, that's right.
So exactly. I reckon both sides are kind of secretly hoping that, everyone's at full strength and they have an honest contest.
Yeah, 10 years ago to this date on Sunday, Cameron Smith was rubbed out of the grand final and Manly beat them 40-0 or something.
40 blocked.
Yeah.
40, that was a similar... How good was that? It was a bloody shellacking, wasn't it?
It was a hiding. I remember Beaver Menzies. Was that his last game or something?
Yeah, that was what a way to.
Yeah, he scored a try.
A couple of meat pies too. He scored. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He's a good fella, Beaver. And it's a big weekend. I'm supposed to go down on Sunday and do a function there, but I've just pulled out of it. I'm just going to stay up here, I think.
Oh, really? You're not getting up the kangaroo reunion? No,
I'm going to stay up here. I got a bit of work on actually, so I'm just going to hang up here. So.
Rugby league, mate. Rugby league, mate. The two guys that they're talking about maybe taking their Cooper Cronk's spot, Ryan Madison or Sean O'Sullivan. They're only young blokes. They're actually leaving the club next year. One's going to West Tigers, and the other one's going to Broncos.
Yeah.
But I would personally put play Mitch Orbison at 5'8" and put Keary at halfback. Mitch Orbison's been a wonderful player for them, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's definitely someone you could put in a couple of positions and not have too much worry that he's not going to deliver.
Yeah, well, he delivers.
Do the job at a standard that's acceptable. He mightn't bedazzle everyone with footwork and bust through the line or anything, but he's just going to get the job done, isn't he?
Yeah, he lacks a bit of genuine pace, but I've never seen him play a bad game. Whether he's coming off the bench or he's filling in at the centres, or he's filling in at 5'8", or he fills in the back row somewhere. He always plays a great game, and he's physically he could handle Munster.
Yeah, 100%. He's a lot stronger than people realise. He's really
absolutely.
He trains really hard, and he's really solid and strong. He's got a real strong core.
Yep.
Just one of those real honest kind of footballers' bodies.
Yeah.
You know, that's like I said, probably doesn't get the accolades that blokes like the Latrells and whatnot get. They're very flashy in a lot of ways. But mate, he's one of the first guys you pick in your team. Not unlike a Todd Lowry used to be and a Jeff Robson. People used to put shit on.
Very similar.
Because they
you're right.
Stand out.
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't play, and you just notice on the field straight away, like, oh shit, like I wish they were here,
Yeah.
Like Jeff Robson used to do so much dirty work, like so much of the dirty work that goes unnoticed. Like he had traffic running at him all day. People thinking they can, run over him, and he would just throw his body at him, and they get a shock at how hard he'd whack and how often. And it didn't matter how knocked out he was or buggered he was, he'd just keep going. And Orbison's similar in that regard. Like he's just underestimated.
He's played there forever, hasn't he? He's been there. He's played a lot of seasons there, and he's had that utility flavour about him every time. And there were a couple of seasons there where he played in the centres and he was in the back row, but he can play anywhere. I think physically that'd be a better option for him to be there. They'll lose his off the bench sort of value, but they'd be better off doing that, I reckon, rather than putting a younger fella in that sort of has got limited experience.
Yeah, I reckon too. I reckon he's definitely the safer bet. I wouldn't be worried at all if he was filling the shoes. I'd be like, okay, it's sorted there. Move on to the next problem,
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, it's going to be a bloody ball terror of a game.
I think it'll be a beauty, and I'm just hoping that Cooper Cronk plays. What do you say? What do you think? Who do you think?
If it's full strength both sides, if Cooper and Billy play, fuck, I can't choose. It's very hard splitting hairs here.
Yeah, it is.
It's probably
Storms.
Yeah, I want to. My heart is saying Roosters, and my head is just slightly saying the Storm.
What did your heart say last week when you were picking them? How'd that go? You wanted Cronulla to win?
No, the two. Yeah, I wanted Cronulla to win, and I wanted Roosters to win. So,
right, okay. So half a heart.
Yeah.
No, I want a Sydney team to win, and it happens to be the Roosters, and I think they can do it, but they need Cooper there, and they need him with a full shoulder, not half a shoulder.
Yeah, look, you can need a rotator cuff injury. I've had them; they're awful. It's still sore. I've done it in '99.
Yeah,
it still gives me grief. It's just. It's one of those. It's a foundation injury, like it's where all your mechanics of your shoulder.
Yeah,
work. It's like the tendons that allow your shoulder that join your shoulder to the joint, and it's so fucking painful. Like, it's so painful.
It is part of your upper body movement generally, isn't it? You can bend a certain way or twist or whatever, and it still has an effect somewhere there.
Yeah, or even just sleeping and things, you can just feel it in there. It's just a yucky feel. It's a real, when it's injured, when the rotator cuff's injured, your entire shoulder mechanics is just gone.
Yep.
Because it's just weak. It's as weak as piss, and it feels like it's kind of not attached.
Yeah,
like it's a little bit detached, like, your shoulder's kind of a bit numbish. It's got no power base.
Yep.
And then you put it in a certain angle. When the physio used to grab my arm and kind of twist the bottom of your arm, it's hard to explain what I'm doing, but I'm standing here with my arm out like a L-shaped, like upside L-shaped right angle, and they twist it forward, and it just hits the spot, and it's just excruciating.
I've got some rotator cuff problems on the right side now, and I can feel the tendon or whatever sort of slip over it or get locked a little bit on occasions. And before I do any sort of training, and I've got to really warm it up with certain exercises and stuff which allows me to get through the. I mean, that's very basic. I mean, I didn't tackle much, so I don't know where this came from, but it just
I don't know how I
happened.
did mine. I fell forward on mine, and as I fell down, my shoulder went above my head a bit. And it was like a rip sound.
Yep. Oh,
and I just didn't really get. I was 19. I didn't really get physio properly like you should, and it's just turned into an dodgy old shoulder. Now it's like got arthritis in the joint. It's fucking that painful. Actually, the more I train, the less it hurts.
Yeah, okay. The warming up idea.
Well, no, the more I train, the less it hurts because when I do exercises that work like your back, it pulls it into position. It pulls the shoulder into the plate. When I get lazy and you start rolling forward with your shoulder, it sits out of the joint a bit, and it really affects the rotator cuff. I find when I do chin ups and some good back exercises, my shoulder pain is a lot less. And if I get the right massage too, if someone can find the sweet spot in there where, they lift your arm up and they get in there, all those yucky bits in where your shoulder joins to your lat, your back. Oh, geez, it hurts, but after it feels $1,000,000.
Okay,
he'll be right into that this week, Cooper. He'll be getting all those sore points, like trigger therapy almost, where they pinpoint the pain and just get in all around it and try and release it and get some blood flow going back to it, as well as he'll be doing. Our mate Johnny Barker, he's been doing cryotherapy. He's got the cryotherapy chamber, the CryoFix. He'll be taking.
He'll be there, will he?
Doing that there all week. He's with the Roosters, so they'll be utilising that.
Yep.
Getting in there and getting the cold therapy, and that does a lot of good too for battered bodies.
Mate, it just as you're talking to Cooper Cronk, I still associate him with Melbourne Storm. That's just obviously over the years how long he's played there, but just how wonderful the organisation is of Melbourne Storm. They've been in the mix for the last 10, 12 years. They've been whatever the combination is, whatever they do there. I know you've told me they train hard. A lot of clubs train hard and physically train hard, but for the psyche there, it's unreal because whoever goes there becomes a better player. Now, whether you're there for a year or 2 years, you become a better player, being part of that organisation, and when you leave, you become the player you were before you got there. That's how it looks like to me.
They change you mentally. And when Ricky Stewart first came to the Roosters, it was very similar in regards to he just cleaned out all the negativity and all the softness, and he just only accepted tough people. He only accepted. And those who weren't tough, he turned them into tough people.
Yep.
And that's all he allowed. And, it worked great. Like the first 3 years, they made the grand final. First year, they won it. Second year, they got beaten in the grand final, but they still got there.
Yep. Are you exercising again?
Yeah, I just did some push-ups, sorry.
Fucking hell, that's amazing. I couldn't concentrate and talk if I was doing shit like that.
I don't have no idea what I'm talking about.
It sounds like you do. So Ricky Stewart installed that.
Yeah, it's in regard, obviously completely different, but I'm just trying to give an example. So when you go to Melbourne, you are buying in or you're not in. You're either in it or you're not. And when you leave, there's no way that can't have a positive effect on your mental toughness.
Yep.
And on the way you think about rugby league. So a lot of blokes who came from Storm to Para when I was at Para, or mates that went from Para to the Storm, and then I see them again later, they all say, mate, we teams are close to beating them and they can be beat and that, but we are everyone's so far away from how far ahead they are, even though it only equates to winning by a small margin, or it's only a few percent more. It's all the difference, and they just know why when you go there, you understand.
Well, mate, the last 10, 12 years, however long they've been dominating for, any club that plays against them, any team that's played against them in that period of time, it's always been a pinnacle for any club over the years to become like a Melbourne Storm. That steeliness, that defence, they're fantastic, and attack, they're great. So
it's like a bit of an institute.
It definitely is. Yeah. So, which is good. So anyway, I'm going for I'm going for the Roosters. I hope they get there. Cooper Cronk's got to play for mine, but the Storm, they're such a good side.
Yeah, it's anyone's. It's going to be good to watch. This is why I love the UFC. Like, and for reasons like this is why rugby league's good. Is who knows?
Yeah,
and everyone puts their case forward, and you've got all these variables and opinions, and at the end of the day, absolutely anything can happen. Who would have thought Manly were going to win 40-0 that time? You know, in a grand final. Who would have thought Cronulla would have won a premiership? You know, after the years they had previously. Like, it's just a fantastic game when all the shit is taken away from it, and it's just about the footy.
Yep, the football gods hopefully will be in play, and Slater will play, and Cooper Cronk will play, and everything will be 50-50.
We'll make a call right now. Is Billy Slater going to play the grand final?
Yes.
Yeah, it feels weird to say that he wouldn't. Like, to say no, he's not going to, it just doesn't feel right, does it?
The game's got to have a long, hard look at itself if he doesn't play.
But then what about the shit they're going to cop if he does play and then they pull up examples of tackles exactly the same where someone's gotten a week or two?
Well, that's exactly right. That'd be more so the keyboard warriors would be sort of writing about that sort of shit. But yeah,
of course. But like, really,
I know.
If an example's an example, like if it's the same, why isn't there the same treatment? Is it special treatment because it's Billy? It's his last game to grand final. Like, Anyway, it's getting all negative about it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I can't believe it's a frigging rule in the first place. So I hope he plays, and I hope Cooper Cronk's shoulder can hold up for one more game.
I look forward to the day, mate. Leading up to it's fantastic, and when you wake up on the Monday morning, it's a long weekend. You've had a few beers, a few wines or whatever, and you know that's the end of the season. It's a little bit sad, but I'm just looking forward to this weekend completely.
Yeah, bloody oath, I can't wait. What else is going on?
Oh, not much, mate. Did you? There was a couple of shark attacks up at the Whitsundays.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, and they did some shark culling yesterday, and they killed six sharks, but they're unable to say whether these sharks were involved in those attacks.
But even if they are involved in those attacks, what's the point in killing them, really?
What's your take
they're
on
in
that?
their domain and they're killing machines. Like, when you swim at your own risk.
That's what I think. Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously, if it's a populated town and there's a lot of, swimming area and people are getting killed every week or there's too many of them, maybe somehow drive them away or cull them to a degree. I don't know. It just feels wrong to just go off kill 6 random sharks.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, the 46-year-old woman, and a 12-year-old girl were attacked, and
it's a freaking tragedy. You would never expect it just having a swim on your holiday.
Absolutely, absolutely. But the 6 sharks killed, they don't even know whether they were involved. It's like you said,
it's not a crime. Like, it needs to be investigated, and they hunt down the perpetrator. It's a fucking shark.
Well, it have a fair bit to do with the fact that they're holiday destinations, and shark attacks mean that people aren't going to turn up.
Yeah, well, money once again rules, doesn't it? So.
It does, but it's a sad state of affairs. You've got millions of years of evolution that these things need to just eat, and they don't play. As far as we know scientifically, they don't play around just to grab someone's leg and have a bit of a bite. They go in because they're hungry. They sniff something, and it's millions of years of evolution. And here we are in their domain.
Yeah,
we just need to be careful where we swim.
Yeah, it's a bit of a swim at your own risk type theory, isn't it? I guess they can net it off as good as they can. They can still get through nets, but yeah, it just feels a little bit.
Yeah, that was
an odd answer to a very tough question, I guess.
Yeah, they're going to be doing the shark net stuff, so they can keep them out and stuff, which has been very, very successful along the east coast there, Cronulla and all that, along that way. There's got shark nets further out there, and we haven't seen a shark attack anywhere for years since they've been up. So they're going to be doing that anyway, but yet they're still culling. So I don't understand. Yeah, so you finished your exercise, or?
I just did. Sorry, I was just finishing off the last lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're going to do. That's a pretty heavy situation. But, so there was how many people died?
No one died.
Oh, they just got
attacked, and
lose any limbs or anything like that? Or
well, there's a lot of stitches. They've lost some meat on them and stuff. But no, they're okay. They were in critical condition there for a bit, but they're going to pull through.
Your first reaction is to kill everything that's attacked you, really. Like,
yeah, if you're the parents or you know these people and you know them in some way, shape, or form, you'd be thinking, oh, yeah, let's kill them or whatever your first thoughts were. But
yeah, it's hairy. Fuck, they're just killer machines, aren't they? It's just a muscle with teeth, an underwater muscle with razor sharp teeth that can just. People who've been attacked by sharks who just get swiped out of nowhere, they liken it to a car crash. They reckon that force in which the shark hits you as it bites you is like a fucking car hitting you.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's not just like it comes up, bites you and swims away. It's like hits you at a fucking 1,000 miles an hour.
Yep.
Whacks you, and at the same time shreds it and tears a big piece of you off and takes it away.
There was last year, I think, or early this year, there was a Chinese tourist that was taken up at Ballina near Lennox Head.
Yeah, right.
Just bang. Yeah, and I've heard that too. I've heard it's just like a big thud, something like that you're not expecting. Yeah, would just shock you completely.
Oh, they say they don't know that like their legs gone. It doesn't feel like they got bit on the leg. It's just they look down and there's just no leg there. And
once it realization,
shock, and they don't know what's going on. And how fucking scary.
It is. That's what's watching Jaws has taken me out of the water. And I used to be a nipper and a cadet on surf life saving. Used to love going to the water on the weekends. Mum and Dad used to drop me off on the weekends on Friday and then pick me up on a Sunday afternoon. I used to be in and out of the water, and then I'd watch Jaws. It just changed my whole state of mind and all that.
It's I know you can't not think of it. Like I say a prayer every time before I go for a swim in the ocean. Like
pretty much. Yeah.
Please look after that. Please don't let me get eaten. Like I've had some scary situations where the boys have taken me out, like probably out of my depth, with bodyboarding, and they take me out to these breaks that you've got to really paddle to. Like takes a 10, 15-minute paddle, you know.
Yep.
And you're just like in the middle of nowhere. The water's black, and once I looked to the left and I just saw a fin go under, and I've just gone, no way. I said, boys, I just saw a fin go under, and they're just laughing. I'm going, mate, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing shit. I saw a fin go under the water. And they're like, it's probably dolphins. I said, probably's not going to sell it to me, mate. Like, what are we doing? Give me a definite answer. And they go, we'll be right. And it's like, yeah, that sounds great. Thanks,
keep
mate.
surfing. Yeah.
Paddling, next minute, 4 dolphins just, I'm like, thanks. But I only caught the end of it, so all I saw was a fin go under. I didn't see what kind of fin. It was just a last-minute thing.
It was grey.
Oh, and it was just that next minute of my life was just the most vulnerable I've ever felt anywhere. It's not like someone breaks into your house and you can fight them and beat them, or have a chance of killing them or beat them. Yeah, it's like you're in a world that you are not welcome in. Yeah, and you're totally. If they're hungry, they're going to eat you.
You're totally in their domain, and it's like being I can imagine being in a plane, and I think this whenever I fly up to Queensland or whatever, it's you're totally at the whim of the mechanics, and when you're going down, you're in that domain. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, there's no. It's not up to you. It's up to the powers that be.
So even if I saw the dolphins, I still would have got out. I would have just.
Yeah, well, it scared the shit of me. Once I saw him, I kind of thought it was all right, and then. Once we got out to the break, it was pretty shallow reef, so it wasn't like any big bastard sharks could be hanging around there. It was a bit shallow, so I felt a bit safer. And we, there was a few people around with jet skis and stuff, which kind of look out. So,
more importantly, did you catch any good waves?
I did. I've got a photo of one. I'll send you a photo. You can put it up as we're talking about on this podcast right now.
Yeah.
I show it to everyone. It's hanging up. As soon as you walk in my house, it's the first thing you see. I show off to everyone because. It looks like I've caught a really good wave. Well, I fell off after it, but my mate Chucky Grant Truver was the NRL photographer. He was out there that day on his paddleboard with his water housing camera.
Yep.
And he got this great photo of me, and I just pretend to everyone that I'm just a great bodyboarder.
That's good. Yeah, send it to me. We'll throw it up.
No worries.
Cool. All right, mate. No worries. Well, so what do you do? Where are you watching the game at?
I'll just be watching it up here. Just I've got this. I don't like to, when there's a big spectacle on TV, whether it be the UFC or footy, I don't like leaving my home because I've got this new TV. It's like, I think 75-inch.
Yeah.
And it's...
Well, invite people up there.
Yeah, that will probably, my mate Essa upstairs, he'll come down and watch it.
Yep.
Big Para fan.
Yeah, cool.
Congratulations, Essa. And I'll just watch it on this high definition digital TV I've got. It's unbelievable. The UFC is great to watch on it. Oh,
yeah, I can
Sunday
imagine.
when the UFC fights are on, if it's a good card, mate, and it's my cheat day, I've had a good week. I just sit there and I order Uber Eats probably 3 times throughout the day and just watch every fight and flick through a bit of social media while I'm watching it.
Good stuff in your undies, yeah?
Always well, if someone's here, I put undies on. But
good.
If not, just let the blood run free, as they say.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, I'm kangaroo reunioning, so that I look forward to that. It'll be a big day, and then I've got on Sunday. I've been invited yesterday to a Steve Hart. He plays in a band.
Yeah.
He plays in a band, and they've got a harbour cruise happening, and he's invited me on to that. They're going to play some music, and then we're going to watch the game on a big screen on the boat,
and
then play some more music after that. So this should be a good day.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, Brian Fletcher's been texting me saying, come on, Roo Reunion's going to be big. Yep. He's got the Triple M No BS luncheon the day before. I went to that last year, and that's just a friggin' bender. That's a bender.
Is it? Yeah.
And then he's got to back up for the Roo Reunion. But, I'm staying up here this year. I feel like I've just settled in up here. And
yep.
I'm just going to stick up here. I've got a bit of work on Monday too. I've got to run a fat loss webinar, so I'm just going to keep my head clear. Because if I go get on the piss Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm just going to be friggin' a joke.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I'll do the right thing. But anyway, it's going to be a good weekend. Pump for it. I'll chat to you shortly anyway, Dad.
All right, Egg.
Good luck.
See you, mate.
See you.